The Dark Matter Digital Network presents
Midnight in the Desert.
Coming up in a moment, I know a lot of you have been awaiting this, the GIS. And this is one you're going to want to be warned about. This will be a little bit scary. So be warned. What you're hearing are EVPs. These are the voices of the dead. They are recorded, in this case, by the GIS, represented tonight by Brendan Cook and Barbara Macbeth. And this has been over many, 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 many years that they've been doing this. They do it as, I guess a hobby is the right word. Is it, you two? Is that the right word for what you do?
Well,
for the most part,
consider it a hobby. I don't.
Well, we've spent how much money doing it, so
yeah.
It's a very expensive hobby. How's that?
Accurate. I love the idea of cell phones, though. I'm going to try it myself. Trust me.
Really?
I'm absolutely going to try it. Yes. All right. So what I've got left on my left computer, I've got things all over the place. Would be something about drowning. Who wants to set that up?
Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah. So this one, we played this before.
Right.
Here's the thing. Since the site is down, this was easily the most listened to EVP we have
ever
recorded.
Ever recorded.
Yeah, and simply because, it's so long, and, it's called drowning just because, there's no other way to say it. It sounds like a child being drowned.
God. All right. It sounds like a child being drowned.
So,
any other providence you can give us on it?
So the context of this was in a old mental asylum in Ogden, Utah, and the building was abandoned, had been abandoned for years. Mm-hmm. The owner of the building was renovating it. She had called us in to, investigate these things that were happening while they were doing the renovations. Something apparently was upset. We had set up our equipment. We had gone through, done a regular investigation, and I decided I was going to leave my mic, and because I had this big condenser mic, in this room, kind of in the back of the building, and I was just going to leave it there, and then we were all going to go. I don't even know where we went. We went outside, So we were out for a while. There was nobody in this building. There should have been really no sound other than maybe cars driving by. And about 10 minutes in, this picked up. And, I remember hearing this and I didn't even want to show you, Barb.
Yeah. He didn't tell us about it for a day or two after he heard it, because it was recording into his computer from the condensed mic.
All right, so I'm not going to hear any of your voices at all. Everything I hear
should not be there.
Should not be there.
The water sound. This building had no running water.
No plumbing.
No plumbing on, no water on for years.
All right. With that as a setup, here it comes. Listen closely at your own peril. You know what? I'm going to stop it.
Yeah, and that's basically just the voices.
Yeah, am I hearing correctly when the voice comes in? Is the voice saying "help me"?
The child, the voice that sounds like a child.
Yes.
Yeah. It sounds like he's saying, "Help me, can't breathe, couldn't breathe."
All right. See, that I want to hear again. So I don't know. I hate to play the whole thing again. But I guess I'm going to. And then another voice. Am I right? I need to hear that again. I'm sorry. This is so freaky. Listen it here. That was another voice. Please, I heard that. That's just horrible. It's horrible.
It is. If you listen really close at the very end of that, it sounds almost like a thud.
Oh, I hear it. Trust me, I hear the thud. God, that's awful.
It's awful.
Even you say so, Barbara.
Yeah, that's horrible. And when Brendan came across it, he was just expecting to see a straight line on the Cool Edit,
on the waveform.
Yes.
On the wave.
Right.
And then when he saw this stuff start, the noise graph start.
Well, originally, like I said, I thought it was a car driving by, maybe a diesel.
Yeah, and again, there's no water in this building at all, right?
And hadn't been for...
There wasn't a tub.
Yeah. I don't get it. I almost don't want to get it.
Boy, I hear you. That's horrible. I don't know what else to say. It sounds exactly like what you said. And what do you feel like when you go to your computer and you're just sort of monitoring because hours are going by that you don't get anything, and then you get something like this? How do you handle it, Brendan? Barbara said you waited a couple days to even talk about it.
I did. I mean, we recorded that in 2005, and I mean, at that point, I had been doing this for over 10 years, and I mean, I didn't know how to take it at all. Like I said, yeah, I mean, like you just mentioned, I didn't tell anybody about it because I'm like, this is just way too much.
Yeah, way too much. So now let's talk for a second about events. And this was an event that are somehow caught in some horrible loop or are played again and again, or what?
I would hope so, because I'm terrified to think that this is some kind of an intelligent haunting, and this child is having to live this over and over.
Oh, no.
Like you said, I want to think it's a residual, it's a loop, it's something that, for whatever reason, was recorded in the atmosphere.
How about you, Barbara?
I do have a feeling that it's residual, but I think that child wanted somebody to know.
Well, there's something to think about. The child wanted somebody to know. Well, plenty of people know now. That's for sure. God.
It's heartbreaking. I can remember my feeling when I first heard it, and Brendan had called and said, we recorded something in that building. He says, and we hadn't been to that building since we had recorded it. It had been a couple of days. And he says, I want you to listen to it and see what you think.
Yeah, I didn't tell you at all what it said, it shouldn't be there, and that was it.
Guys, I've got a question. Was there ever a time when you recorded something, God knows, like this, and you just said, okay, that's enough. We don't need to be doing this anymore. Did you ever come to that point?
No. Not yet.
No, never.
I can see, and it's a good question. Actually, that's a question we've never been asked. The fact that you ask it, I can see that there would be a point, but I haven't had it yet.
For more information on how to access the full interview and more past Midnight in the Desert shows, please visit www.artbell.com.
Midnight in the desert.